What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 21 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Malagor the the Dark Omen Immortal Empires campaign. Though speaking of Malagor Bloodhorn, as we saw last time, he did defeat Warband Ironclaw both in battle and in combat, and we have begun our war against the Ironclaw orcs. They did not do a good job of making their way through Blackfire Pass, and as we saw, they've only basically now gotten into a war with the Wissenland Unknown faction. Frankly, I feel like what happened here was Wissenland actually probably declared war upon them, because these guys grew weaker by virtue of us attacking them. Maybe that's what happened. And wow, these guys are a war with a lot of factions, though. And, oh, looks like Reichland isn't having a great time either, though if the Altdorf falls to somebody other than us, even another Chaos faction, they may have a bad time of it. But anyway, Malagor, you are besieging Black Crag, and I think we're actually ready to end the turn because we're going to get attacked by Black Crag. Minus one other thing I did want to do. We wanted to get additional capacities for various units of Centaurs. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Hopefully they're not, I mean, they're not horrifically expensive. And, I mean, I think Morger can't recruit them, but we can recruit them here for him. Let's just go 1 Centaur like this, and then we will, combine you two. We can get these guys back pretty easily. I just want to make sure that we can trade them to Morger easily. We'll go for 2 for now. I don't know if he'll have enough space in his army for all of them, and I also know that Karag can't build all that many at the same time. So, that's all we can do for now. Alrighty, that's good. There are probably buildings and stuff that we could be building, but I don't want to check everybody again this turn, so I think we're just free to go to next turn. We have a little bit of dread remaining, though, and maybe there are a few more heroes that we want. We do need another Wargorn Kazrak's army, but we want the Ironclad Champion type. Yeah, with the Totem of the Herd. What do we have as options here? We have the Swift Strider Warlord with Man-Bane Standard and Craven War Leader. Actually, this might be a good choice for Morger just because it reduces enemy melee attack, as his Chaos Spawn have basically no melee defense. So let's go for a Craven War Leader for him. He should only need 1. Lords and Heroes, and that is Wargor. Oh, wow, 555 now. Alright, the Wargors admittedly are starting to get expensive. We have gotten a lot of them. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Go for the Craven War Leader. Oh, and I guess Swift Strider Warlord wouldn't be pretty much useless in Morger's army because his Chaos Spawn don't care about the leadership aura. Yeah, alright. Craven War Leader. And then we will need 1 for Torox. I mean, Ironclad Champion seems like the most sensible kind for Torox as well, so we'll see if we can't get another one, but if we can't, we'll see. I just feel like Craven War Leader doesn't belong in Torox's stack, right? Right. Anyway, I think that's it in terms of what we got in terms of Dread and Cash and whatnot, so low Bestial Rage. Kazrak, you're going to, you know what, you need to heal up, so you're just gonna have to ignore that. And the rest of that can be ignored, so end the turn. Alright, let's see them attack Malagor. I'm really expecting to pop off this last ritual at Rakdo Gorge and get the Marks of Ruination. And what is this? Oh, the last remnants of Khalid's faction. Hey, a free dread from it, though. And wait, did that little army survive and back off? Are they going to do that again and give us more dread? I certainly wouldn't say no to that, though I would be mildly annoyed, I guess, if they did attempt to raid us here. And aha! Oh! It looks like Black Crag will sally out on its own. That's actually a little bit surprising. As in, I was expecting another little army to come out and play, and ooh, I see a Wissenland army nearby as well. The Dark Omen will soon be upon the Empire, but anyway, for now, we gotta fight this. Alrighty, here we go. I was gonna kick out of Malagor dodging projectile fire in the air because he's so dang quick with 209 speed, and I think he can speed himself up further with a few things. But anyway, here we go. Black Crag's defenders are gonna have a pretty bad time of this, I would wager. But there's still a few decent units to work our way through. A bunch of the Black Orcs, the Boar Boy Biggins, the Giant, the Arachnarok. Certainly they do have some fight in them. Yeah, I do feel a little bit bad for the Ironclaw Orcs just because they were doing quite well, at the very least, quite well in the Badlands before we came along. Unfortunately, occupying 2 potential great Herdstones is just a bad idea. We want those for ourselves. And admittedly, I am still annoyed that the Ironclaw Orcs basically just, you know, puttered around the Badlands the entire time. They never really bothered to go north into the Empire, never really engaged in a proper war against Wissenland, who occupies Akendorf and the territory of Border Princes. Come on, Orcs, what you doing? Why wasting time fighting the rats? Anyway, here we go. We start the battle off after Malagor drops a few spells by having the Chimeras drop their fire breaths on a few of the Black Orcs and whatever other units, while the blob of flyers, probably only needed 3 to do this, really, go after that Arachnarok spider. And just wanted to make sure that they brought it down. Well, in the meantime, Malagor is going to fight together with Karag and his Wargor and his sort of secondary Embrace Shaman here, as well as the Piggies, at least while they're in this army. There we go. Overcast Penumbral Pendulum with a little bit of extra armor-piercing damage through the line of Black Orcs severely damages the latter. Malagor, of course, continues damaging them as well. And the balance of power is already about 70% in our favor. Generally speaking, one single stack is never going to be a threat to Malagor, much less most of our armies, really. I think maybe in the future Khazrak's army, depending on exactly how it functions, might struggle a little bit with dual stacks as opposed to one stack, and maybe the ranged army as well, as in the Zenshin army. Because if you're going to focus range, especially with a faction that isn't really designed around it, like the Beastmen, you will always be in danger of getting overwhelmed. That's generally true of all ranged armies, but more so for a faction that isn't built around the concept. But anyway, love seeing all of the various flyers. Ooh, I like the sort of the giant skull in the background. And the corpse of the Arachnarok. This is looking pretty good. Alrighty, still surrounded by the various types of orcs around us, but I think they're not going to have a great time of it, or will continue not having a great time of it. Another overcast flock of doom comes down upon them. The bounce power continues moving in our favor. Going to drop off another unit of defiled crows on top of whatever blob of enemies we can find, while our harpies just clear off the enemy backliners and any enemy units that are running. There we go, a few units of Error Boys are going to be the targets here. They could, in theory, have still been dangerous, as Error Boys, can still hit pretty decently well as Orc Boys can, but they're also super fragile, and the Harpies tear them to shreds. Just like the rest of the army, as with that, the enemy army shatters, and the battle is ours. The Flyers win once again. It's a little sad we can't get that Great Chaos Dragon. What can you do? All right, there we go. Very nice. While the sort of hate that the auto-resolve feels for the Beastmen does work against us most of the time, this is one of the few situations where it works in favor of us because it forces a garrison to sally out, and that otherwise probably had no business sallying out. And the sort of weakness of the Harpies on paper means that the AI felt that they would be, well, able to deal with our army, which they weren't. And Malagor, as usual, racking up the kill count and the damage count, nearly 100,000 damage, and for the Harpies, it's the Sisters of Slay, similarly living up to their name. Lovely. We will raise the Herdstone here, much as I'd like the 12k. Huh. I was about to say we could loot and raise and then get the Herdstone back up and running, but then what'll happen is we'll still have to waste the turn, in which case, yeah, just raise the Herdstone. Whatever. All good. Alrighty, and that's another great Herdstone for us. Not a tier 5 yet, but we'll get there. Kellon Damonson, you are not the dwarf we're looking for. Receives Plague, Sunken Kernarch. Yeah, sure. Oh, hopefully it's not Skaven Plague. Hopefully it's the other plague, as an Hour Plague. Not that... not that the Plague of the Crow has any good effect on the Beastmen, it's basically useless to us as well. I guess a little bit of leadership, but otherwise, it's just, it does nothing. But anyway, Pa, you are going to go into raiding stance, and you're going to start moving this way. Go through the Plagueinated territories, raid our own territories, I don't really care. As long as you get the free Bestial Rage. And, I assume that faction -6, animosity -4. I assume that this is going to rise with the... You can raid your own territory for Bestial Rage, I guess we'll find out. Why is the faction reduction so high? A Jabberslythe battle. Oh, that's why. That's actually -5 per turn is significant. Wow, okay, well, just gonna have to deal with it. Anyway, Dark Moon. Oh, the eclipse is over, but, well, whatever. No, that means the number of marks of ruination here would have been, well, won't be as much as we wanted it to be, but anyway. Magok the Endbringer. Wow, there's so many Magoks around. Anyway, you go here. I guess Magok is like Beludna and Velatreska. Kislev and Slaanesh. Anyway, you're gonna go join Morgur. Morgur, you're going to go into Ruination stance and take out Shruktak Mount real quick, and then meet up with Pyrrhic Victory. Huh. Well, actually, I do have some defenders. Might actually fight that. Alright, we'll just sit there for a moment. Kazarak. We could sack Dracon Spire. I actually expected Mr... Oh, wait, no, we can't sack stuff, can we? Huh. We could besiege it, but that doesn't really do much for us. I guess we could raid it for a few turns. Until Morgur gets here. Like so. Free money and all. And I guess you could go past it. It's not like these guys are in... Oh, you can't really go past it. Alright, so just go here. You're gonna have to meet up with Morgur anyway. We could actually also use the time to recruit him a couple of Sangors, but I think Morgur's capable of it as well now, so that doesn't really matter. Torox. I don't know why I didn't do everything in order this turn, but too late. Anyway, Torox, you are going to start moving this way. You're going to go into your Juggernaut raiding stance, which should increase your movement range. No. I was hoping you could reach Dagrax End in one go, but alas, you cannot, and that's just fine. Or it isn't fine, but it isn't anything we can do about it. Get the free 6k for raiding it then, and then take it out next turn. Frankly, I don't care about the Exiles of Nehek all that much anymore, but we can't really allow them to rebuild. Hopefully these guys take a few more territories, but all good. Alright, I really want that ritual. Anyway, Malagor. Now, you have taken the Black Crag here. Here we need to spend a little bit of cash. Oh, look at that. These guys have become opportunistic and taken stuff. That's the AI for you. We're going to go Nurgle, and we're going to go Slaanesh as we do. No, not Tzeentch, Slaanesh. Alright, then you... could go... This army's annoying me. We should just kill it. We could go all the way to 8 peaks and raise that for Black Crag. I don't think anybody's nearby. The only thing that concerns me is there are Rictus rats nearby. Yeah, basically, after we allied Clan Moors, they started losing every single war. Oh, go figure. They've become pretty useless. And Skarbrand has also been our ally and has done basically nothing for the entire campaign. He sent an army out here and it looks like, oh, he got defeated by Elspeth. Go figure. I do wonder if Elspeth's now going to come down here. That's a distinct possibility. Anyway, Malagor. And just kill this little army. I guess auto-resolve it. I know it's a Beastman army, but I don't like it nearby. Glareworm. Don't ask allies. They'll be dead one turn anyway. And they're gonna run, and they're gonna die. Oh, the other... Hey, ambush. Beastman on Beastman ambush. Beautiful. And it's a little bit of damage, but I think we're gonna recover, because I would like to... Tier 3? Oh. Probably won't let us auto-resolve this either. Will it? Can you go into Ruination stance? But the looks of it, you cannot, so I'm not even gonna try. Just go to Karag 8 peaks, and we'll tear the place down. What's the auto-resolve say on this one? No dice, and that's actually pathetic in terms of what the force says. And yeah, that's why we're gonna probably grab a couple monsters into Malagor's army and reduce the harpy count by 2. I was hoping that all these single entities would prevent the auto-resolve from hitting his particular army, but it looks like that's not the case. Oh, you can reach Morheim in one bound? Oh, I'm surprised and impressed. Alright, go to Morheim then. I'm gonna raise a new Herdstone here. Like, so Pyrrhic Victory, but at least we won't kill anybody, and let's face it, Magok's pretty used to it, auto-resolve. Yep, and Herdstone, please. Like so, and then I guess we'll immediately just build the 2 cheap 1 and 2. We should at least go up to the tier 3s, but we have other stuff to spend our money on. Anyway, and good on that. We would also like to know what's over here. Oh, and also, wait, okay, Magok. You have your dread building and your raiding building, right? Yeah, you have the important ones, the really important ones, I should say. Malagor, I'm going to deal with you in a second. I would like to see what our wargors are looking like for the stuff up north. I wish I hadn't done everything out of order, because now I don't remember who's supposed to do what. We got another Craven war leader, another Swift Strider warlord. I mean, in theory, we could give the Swift Strider warlord to Torox. He does like attacking a lot, Leadership Aura says, even though I feel like the other guy would be better. Who knows how long it'll be until we get a sufficient amount of them. Maybe it's better to just get him on field and then start moving him. I also wanted not a Darkweave Sorcerer for you, though I do like the Cygor buffs. But yeah, we need that for Morgar. Anyway, Morgar is about to attack, Slaw is about to... Techlas? Okay, have like 1 million lords and no Techlas. Come on, guys. And wow, the money's all gone. Okay, go out here to this side and raid the Skullcarver's abode. That's barely an increase. What the heck? Why are we only getting 1.7k when this place has a gold mine as in making 1,000? Huh. Is there some kind of like penalty for raiding for multiple turns? Is that what's happening here? Man, we're losing Bestial Rage even when we're raiding. But what can you do? Anyway, stay there. Techlas will be wiped out regardless. Alrighty, and Kazarak, you're raiding for a turn as well. It's almost like the game's trying to decrease our raiding income. Morgar, I guess it's time to strike once more, and good lord. Really shouldn't have taken that -5. It's insanely bad for us. Yes, we need to tear down Dracon Spire and Shrocktech Mount for this. Yes, yes. Alright. Go. Go. Alrighty, here we go, giant pile of chaos spawn under Morgar here, and, well, we do have our Sandgors, obviously very limited in numbers for now, but their numbers will grow as we build them up. Up the hill we go with a giant pile of spawn, and we are going to start taking a lot of fire. The enemy has 3 Screaming Skull Catapults, a tier 4 tower here, I think, and then another tier... I think this is a tier 3 tower as well. Or actually, maybe it might be a lower tier tower, maybe a tier 1 or 2. But anyway, this one's definitely a tier 4 by the looks of the damage and the HP and all that. So yeah, it's going to be firing directly into the blob of units. Will that matter? I guess we're going to have to wait and see. With the horrible regeneration on the Chaos Spawn, it should in theory be able to outdo the sheer amount of damage that they take. Also now thinking that maybe we want at least 1 Bulgor in this army, because if we blob up the Chaos Spawn like this, a single Bulgor providing Strength of the Land, the extra armor and missile resistance, would be really quite handy like this. I'm gonna try to remember that. Because I wasn't originally gonna put a Gorbel rather, not a Bulgor. I wasn't originally gonna put a Gorbel in this army, but I do think it would be quite effective. But anyway. For now, though, we fightin', and the Chaos Spawn, with the frenzied flailing of their limbs, will continue working their way through the enemy, Ushabti and various skeleton units. Well, they've got more skeleton units where that came from. Probably good that they're fighting over the... what do you call this thing? I don't know, over the grate with the giant pile of bones. Because we can just drop them in there. Also, those are some... big skulls and bodies down there. They're like zombies, except they're all the size of giants? Why would the Dark Elves even get the... even get 1 million giants like this? Because those... the scale is completely off. But some things on the map, the scale is, you know, just generally completely off, but yeah. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, tactically there really isn't too much we can say about this at the current time. It's just spawn rush tactics versus the enemy trying to blob up around us. And And HP-wise, we're still pretty okay, but, you know, we still got a long way to go before we take down all of those skeletons and constructs. On the bright side, while we don't yet have our Jabber Slights to provide additional Mortis engine effects here, we do still have the lethal poison coming out of the 2 units of Hounds of Pestilence, which are basically taking the place of the Jabber Slights until they're in here. And ooh, those Screaming Skull Catapult shots actually hitting the enemy as well, good. I assume that the contact effect only applies to us, though. Like, the enemy might get hit with the Screaming Skulls, but they wouldn't suffer the Discouraged effect from it. Granted, we don't really suffer from it either, because the Chaos Spawn don't care about that sort of thing. Being unbreakable as they are. Morgar, how are we doing down here? 61 kills, but 21,000, or was it 25,000? Whatever. Solid amounts of damage from his Mortis engine effect. And once again, we do have a similar sort of thing going. The 2 armies are sort of blocking each other off. The enemy continues to rain down artillery fire upon us, but we continue to dish out additional damage with the Mortis engine effect coming in from Morgar. And his, you know, corruptive sort of contact effect as well. In the meantime, though, there is another little battle starting to brew here. We've charged in the Centaurs of Tzeentch, who are leading a couple of our regular Gors and Ungors against the Sepulchral Stalkers. What I really wanted them to do is get around this location and go towards the enemy artillery pieces, but unfortunately the enemy actually hid this unit of Sepulchral Stalkers right here in a really good position, just on top of this hill, so that they have the elevation advantage and completely blocking off the choke point. And of course, Sepulchral Stalkers being anti-large and all that. Really good move from the AI to keep them here rather than commit them to the rest of the army. And now we have the Nehekara warriors coming down here, getting ready to lay into those Gors. Obviously, we're not really buffing Gors in this particular army as yet, until we have a decent number of Sand Gors. So we just gotta deal. On the bright side, a little bit of action for the Centaurs of Tzeentch. And the regular Centaurs, which are kind of taking the place of another Centaur of Tzeentch unit, which will eventually be in here as well. Ooh, and is that a Ushabti summon? Indeed it is, I think, or it looked like it. Yes, it is indeed a Ushabti summon. Alright, so summoning the Ushabti in the midst of all this is a great move as well, as summoning them in the midst of the Chaos Spawn would just have seen them torn to shreds. But here, the much weaker Gors and Ungors, and frankly the Centaurs have pretty low stats, are going to be much more threatened. Especially considering that the red line buffs for units like Centaurs offer absolutely nothing in terms of their tankiness. The red line buffs just give them things like charge and weapon strength, no additional melee attack and defense, so the low stats that they generally have are the stats that they're basically stuck with no matter how high they climb, with the exception of their veterancy. I gotta double check what techs give for the Centaurs. I think it's also nothing helpful in terms of their resistances, unless I'm mistaken. I think I saw something that gives the Centaurs with throwing axes a little bit of extra reload and ammunition, which I'm not sure that matters all that much. Well, we're just gonna have to see. But anyway, for now, the Nehekaran horsemen or Nehekaran warriors and whatever else is in here, are having a pretty bad time. They're kind of surrounded by the Chaos Spawn now, as the enemy numbers have dwindled. The artillery and range fire not enough to outdo that horrible regeneration, at least not for now. Keep in mind that we are taking damage, and eventually every single Chaos Spawn will reach its healing cap and stop getting its models and its units healed. Stop getting its models back and its units healed up. So it is what it is. Especially with those with that artillery fire continuing to drop down in the blob below. Alrighty, but it's a little bit of a trade-off. We have won with the monstrous Chaos Spawn below, but have lost here, where we have committed to sort of the dregs of our army, the less mutant elements. The Centaurs of Tzeentch are still relatively okay, because they have that banner that gives them that horrible regeneration, so they get their units back. But the rest of these guys are gonna run away. That said, they've done decent damage, and while they are running, they have not lost a crazy amount of HP, so I do think that they'll be back. Alright, in the meantime, I got annoyed enough with the enemy artillery, especially as those gores closed in, so we sent in both our units of harpies to just tear through them, and it looks like that worked out for the cost of the harpies probably not being able to participate anymore as they're down to half HP, but it's that they've served their purpose here. Now, I also gotta remember to get every army that has either harpies or dogs in it a war gore that gives them frenzy. Can I do that for everybody? We gotta give a frenzy on the war gore, well, eventually, when we actually get a war gore in Torox's army for the healing, but yeah, he's using 4 harpies, so they should have frenzy as well. Makes sense to me. And then once again, tactically, this being a minor settlement A, and, well, this being Morgur's current army, there really isn't much to say. It's just, you just whack away at the enemy until they die. And no fancy maneuvering or anything like that, but, well, unsurprising. And perhaps not necessary either. Wow, Morgur up to 338 kills and 68,000 damage. And more Descension effect. Really doing good work. Yeah, we just gotta get him a banner with the Aura of Madness, and that'll give him another little mini Mortis Engine effect as soon as we're ready to spend the 10k. I want to at least sort of mostly upgrade our main Warherds first, and then we can start spending a little bit extra cash on techs and items and stuff like that. It does admittedly take a while to get there. At the very least, if you continue, you know, sort of fighting non-stop, which is what we've kind of been doing. Even though the game does kind of incentivize you into raiding a little bit more, I just don't like the raiding playstyle, really. It's, why raid when you can actually fight battles? Just, you know, hitting the end-turn button a billion times just doesn't really do it for me. Whereas this very much does. Anyway, the balance of power shifts about 70% in our favor now, and with the Gores and Centigores having returned, looks like they overrun the Sepulchral Stalkers and the Ushabti, who are down, and the Headguard Warriors and the Tomb Guard are also in decently bad shape. The enemy has summoned its second unit of Ushabti, which are in a fight with more Chaos Spawn and more of our units of Hounds of Pestilence. But even if they do manage to bring down a few spawn, the horrible regeneration will just bring them back up. Alright, and it looks like the battle is very nearly ours now. The Lord has been hanging out at the central plaza. I have in previous battles praised them doing this because it protects the enemy artillery pieces, but in this particular case we've already sent those artillery crews packing, and thus it doesn't matter that the Lord is here. The Chaos Spawn should be able to tear through those last chariots, while Morgur whacks away at the enemy Tomb King, whatever. Half HP and dropping. Yeah, Morgur has been an absolute star in this particular battle. What's the missile resistance? Oh, yeah, the Chaos Spawn, 10%. Ooh, they're gonna need more. They're definitely gonna need more. There we go. Morgur delivers the final blow and the enemy Tomb King falls, and with that, the battle is ours. Very, very nice. Okay, there was a couple of units still hanging around out there, but yeah, we could just speed them on their way. A very nice fight. Alright, there we go. Spawn rush tactics working out well for Morgur, despite them being under fire the entire time. They were able to weather the storm and obliterate the Tomb Kings there, while Morgur himself racks up 72,000 damage with basically no effort, and 350 kills. Just has to be standing there, and his aura does the work. Big ol' Mortis engine. Anyway, we will close that, and we will loot and raid. And Doomsinger, Frenzy, Deathblow, and it also gives Frenzy. Well, that's going to Malagor. Because he needs regeneration. Not that I don't like this sort of strife, mind you, and if we can find a weapon that's better but also gives regeneration without wasting the Frenzy, because again, we have Frenzy because Karag gives it to us, but yeah. For now, we'll take Doomsinger, and then we'll see. Malagor's the only lord that doesn't have a purple weapon, right? Well, soon every single item other than, I guess, the talisman and the arcane item will be purple. And who knows, maybe we'll find some. We do have the forge as well, so if we get any spare blue items, we can reforge them, maybe. I say maybe because, you know, we haven't had as many items in this particular campaign as I thought we would, considering all the buffs we have to item finding. It's a little bit surprising. But anyway, what was I going to do? All right, back to Morgar for a second. You will be able to go into Hidden Encampment, and you're going to try to go towards Dracon Spire, hopefully by the time Grimbrindle arrives. Then, this guy can identify our encampment apprentice from building and recruiting. Basically what I wanted to do was build a couple of Sangors, because you now have the ability to build them. Okay, well, we only have the ability / room to build 3, so I guess that's what we're gonna do for now. And we also got to do the cockatrices, but, you know, later. 1, 2, 3. There goes all our dread. And you can delete the regular gores and the regular ungores, like so. And replace them with some nice Sangors. Lovely. You can only build 3 at a time anyway. And we'll replace some of these chaos spawn. That is a ridiculous blob of spawn. Even if it does make sense for Morgar, but like I said, since Tzeentch and Slaanesh are late to the party, they're both getting 2 sort of armies. Although I guess Khazrak is kind of a mixture of, well, not even just the 2. If we count the Hounds of Pestilence as Nurglite, you know, he's kind of a mixture of everything but corn. And I'd give the Razorgore, well, Razorgore chariots are kind of more Slaaneshi. I mean, they're bleed-causing chariots. On the other hand, they are heavily armored. Well, Chaos Chariots of Slaanesh, I guess. But anyway, Malagor. Yes, you still have to fight, buddy. Do you want to pop into Ruination stance? Go for it, why not? Actually, is this needed? I don't think it's needed, you know, I'm just going to regular stance. I don't want the reduction in post-battle loot. Don't care enough. Wait, this gives us a plus 10? Well, it won't matter. The missile resistance might... Alright, whatever. Manually fight this real quick. Because obviously, this should I don't know, I said obviously twice, this should be super auto-resolvable. Like, it's basic units. I have 1 unit of Black Orcs. Come on, game. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you like this? What did the Beastmen do to you? Alright, I mean, Beastmen, I guess, aren't the most popular factions around, but with SFO, they're really, really fun to play, so, you know. And obviously the buffs that they've received over the course of, you know, several iterations, many iterations, since they've been released. You guys can be group, I should say 3. You, Flyer Blob. Let's make you group 2. And I want the Chimeras out front. Are you also damaged? Was that from the fight? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Do we have Stone Shatter? We do, so you guys could just go through whatever. Alright, regardless. What am I missing here? What unit is over here? Oh, the Praeton. My bad, Praeton. Alright, go here. Alright, good. Start deployment, start battle. Go. You now have regeneration. Let's pop off a... well... Shatterstone. Here, doesn't really matter. You can then start casting through the blobs. Go up to the tower for a bit. And you flyers move forward. You guys move forward as well. Get ready to go through that stone shattered area. Go for the Flock of Doom on the enemy. Break down that tower while everybody moves into position. Actually, wait, no. Activate the Forbidden Rod because you can heal yourself now. And get ready to summon your Flock of Doom or your Defiled Crows on top of the enemy. You, Chimeras. Let's have you breathe in the blob of enemies below. Fire breath on. No, it doesn't really matter. You, and you, and you will actually want to breathe on the Black Orcs. Like so. Alright. Good. You've summoned your stuff. Have them kill the rock lobbers. You guys get ready to move on in. Rampage is over? Yes, the rampage is over. Alright, group 2. In the blob. Kill the Black Orcs. Malagor, do we actually care? You know what? We'll send the Harpies to deal with the tower. Come down and apply your endless Flock of Doom to everybody. Actually, you know what? Debuff the Black Orcs. They're only one unit. You know what? Screw it. Go after the tower. There is a archer unit here, and okay, we're gonna speed this up. We're gonna Flock of Doom the blob again, and ooh, if it isn't an enemy lord or something, I would like you to buff everybody up here, and then I would like you to Vile Tide right here. Free Vile Tide, and you, non-free Vile Tide, double it up. And then we'll pop the Horn of the First Beast, and then get group to attack you. Malagor, how's that tower looking? Nearly there. Alright, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, wow, what the heck? The tower got... What? There's nobody up there. Oh, poor harpies. I'm sorry, I didn't see that happening. Oh, what can you do? Oh well. Get another Penumbral Pendulum. Not just a regular one this time. This blob is looking like it's pretty good. And everybody attack here. Good. And Flock of Doom down on the ground below. How's that tower not dead? Yeah, I should have sent harpies. And if I had, they wouldn't have been attacked by the tower, which I had stopped paying attention to. Alright, well, regardless. The blob down here is pretty much done for, including the enemy lord. Go kill the orc biggin, speed it back up again. How's that tower looking? Can you stone shatter a tower? Oh no. Alright, you, go attack this. Is there another tower available? I know you can stone shatter these. Well, actually, I don't know if you can stone shatter this thing. I'm just curious. Do this. See what happens. City walls and siege equipment. No, it does not. Ah! No, it does not affect towers. I was just curious. Alrighty, okay, you guys blob it up and go over here. Oh, probably should have just done the barricade platform. Alright, go here. Harpies, the ones that have decent HP, let's have one of you go after the support tower, speed it back up to max. Flock of Doom on everybody. I assume this will be destroyed quickly. Then we can just mosey on in. Nice not having to care about Malagor's HP anymore. A long time to get that region, admittedly. Alright, let's go for the spellage and more spellage. Oh, it feels so weird at max speed. Buff, Block of Doom, slow down. A unit has been wiped out. I assume that was a summoned unit. Freaked me out a little bit. As it does generally when doing the max speed. Alright, you're good, you're good. You know what? Go 3 more units of flyers. Get ready to chase stuff down. Go for Grr. Like so. Malagor, go and... is there anybody we even really need to debuff? Maybe not. We have the Horn of the First Beast? No, but we do have the totems, we do have the armor buff. This Chimera's taking a little bit of damage. And the free Vile Tide right there. And... okay, not that, actually. The not-so-free Vile Tide right there. Oh, lovely. Alright, you guys kill the error boys. Show them the error of their ways, and what, are we not done here yet? Let's pop a Penumbral Pendulum. Alright, admittedly, it is taking a few seconds to make sure these orcs in the settlement are defeated. Alright, should be nearly done though. Alright, good, good, blob, good, and just move over there to, there we go, alright. Most of that damage to one Chimera, which unfortunately can't heal up, oh. No, it was a regular Chimera. I thought it was the Blood Shriek Chimera, which I'm pretty sure has that perfect predator ability, which allows it to regenerate itself, but the regular chimeras don't have that, so there was no way to do anything about them. Not that, you know, that was of any kind of consequence. It's primarily basic units, and other than that one Black Orc unit, which got decimated before it could do anything, and debuffed with Enfeebling Foe. And Malagor, just out of curiosity, 650 kills and 140,000 damage. That's a caster's for you. Luton Rays. There's no great Herdstone at Caracate Peaks. Oh, free Rampager standard. And Ritual of Ruin available at Black Crag. Well, that's good. Just gotta watch out for it getting destroyed. Now, you cannot hit Valea Sorrow in one go, but you can raid, so go here. Go right beside it, raid, and then on to Iron Rock. Yeah, okay, that does make sense why this place is giving us basically nothing. I guess we send an army around to raise some of these places as well, though soon the rituals won't matter anymore. I believe we get nothing out of the Marks of Ruination after the 500, right? So there will be no further reason to collect them, unless I'm mistaken. Guess we'll see. Anyway, Magok, you are able to build stuff. You don't need to recruit because your army is finished other than the Cornate unit that we need to get. Is there anything here that is of use? The breeding stock is fine, but it's, you know, costly for what it does. What about Morgar? You have your... well, you have your Tsangor building now. We could go for the Shaman Spire. Yeah, go for the Shaman Spire. Get those cockatrices up and running. And then... your growth is kind of bleh. It's gonna take a while to get to tier 5, so maybe we should just keep going through to it rather than the raiding horde. So I think you're fine, and we'll save the money for the rest of this. Alright, one more settlement. Alright, skip, and turn. Some low bestial rage in a few places, but there's not much we can do about it now. Raiding Sentry Glades. I can take it that's because it's our own territory. Hopefully Techlas is back, finally. Slaw really wants to kill off a few more elves, so he'll want to go after that maritime patrol. Actually, I do wonder how Aislinn acts under the AI. Does he just sort of sit there and do nothing? I mean, obviously his little mini faction went after us, and damn, Grimbrindle's not back yet. Come on, game, come on. Alright.
A quest has been issued.
Quest has been issued. For Kazrak, I take it?
Adventure beckons.
I think he reached rank... No, that was for Morgar. Ooh, Stave of Ruinous Corruption. Yes, more spawn summonage. That's a nice thing. Summon receives Plague Sentry Glades. Sure. Oh, damn, we finished the Slangor thing. I forgot about that. Well, then again, I did really want that speed and that buff, so whatever, all good. It is a loss of 25% research rate, but... At the same time, how much do we really care right now? Let's go through Tzeentch's Whisper. We can get Korn's Call and Nurgle's Gift in one go as well. And then eventually we will want to complete this, but at the same time I don't really care. Anyway, Morgar. Guess you're headed over to Dammon, Callan rather. Who's gonna have a full stag by the time you're there. You can... I guess you can build your cockatrices now, so go here in your stance. Gonna have to spend a few extra turns here, but whatever. Then you can lose your... Okay, I guess lose one of the harpies. Not really needed, like so. And, oh, I was about to say build your cockatrices, but you need 2, and we don't have the dread to get them up and running anyway. Anyway, Magok the Endbringer. Everybody's Magocking. Alrighty, and you will also need a caster, so let's double check on... Wait, can you build casters now? Yes. What do we have in terms of this? Still these guys. Alright, I'm not gonna mill them as yet. We still need all the money we can gather. Malagor, you've raided. Skrull is hanging around Black Crag. I kinda don't like that. You know what? I'm gonna invest the 8k in this for the upgrades. It is once again a great Herdstone after all. Then we're going to have you go into... just go into regular stance. Take out Fillet of Sorrow. Hopefully we can auto-resolve this. Regardless of how much the game hates us. Yes, auto-resolve. And it's gonna kill the cockatrices, or at least really damage them. It is what it is. Loot and raise. And Hag Tree Fetish, good. Then you're gonna go into raiding stance, because there's nothing for you to build, and I was hoping you could reach the... reach the next place to raid before heading to Iron Rock, but all good. All good. I guess you're on Iron Rock anyway. Start on that way, buddy. Alrighty, although I am curious, now that we have Slaaneash's Touch, where's Kazrak? We've got 99 move speed on the Chosen Slangors and 113 on the Razor Gore Chariots, 120 on the Hands of Pestilence, so they're barely faster, which, yeah, that works. It most definitely works. Anyway, that was Malagor. Slaw. Is Techlas back? Yes. Yes, he is. And he's suffering attrition for us being here. Can we auto-resolve this? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll try attacking Techlas. We'll see if he runs. Frankly, his army is kind of pathetic, so it feels like it's not worth our time. How we got the ambush. I wonder how much this will damage us. Guess we're about to find out. Waste of time. Kill. And it damaged the Hounds of Pestilence. I actually damaged our entire melee line. And the heal is... something. Man, I have to waste 3k not to avoid the heals. I could try not healing and still fighting the enemy or their settlement. Or we could spend the turn healing. I wonder if they'd attack us. You know what, just go take the money. I hate to lose the Bestial Rage, whatever. And what do we have here? Hey, free possess, that's what we do have. Alrighty. Well, the garrison isn't all that much, and yes, you got the defeated Techlas trait now. It was 1 level, I'm not gonna bother with that. Can we maybe ambush this little army? And nope, that failed. What about this little army? try every single lord here. You? Maybe we can't ambush twice. Oh, and now they're gonna be out there, which is kind of annoying. And we can't escape this, or actually can we? Break siege. Can we auto-resolve? Oh, we can auto-resolve this. I was just trying really hard to avoid actually manually fighting the, this garbage. Auto-resolve. Alrighty. Hey, and some free items. Nice. And I'm gonna just say loot and raise. And a free Ray Shaman's familiar. Nice, nice. Scroll of Blast, Dragon Bane Gem. Well, we'll delete that later. And now you can catch Gandalfa here. Will we get free Dread from this? Ambush. And yes, we will. Beautiful. Should we max out our Bestial Rage? We're gonna start losing it whilst we travel through the sea. Although, it's not a bad amount of healing. Grab that as well. Hey, a free Skull of Rarkos. Augment of the Winds of Magic. And spell resistance -20 for enemy armies in region. Huh. I wonder if that's the better use. Okay, wait. So Malagor, your mage has the Staff of Darkoth, which gives the same amount of spell resistance, but gives him the ability to use Vile Tide. Is that better than the recharge? I'm not sure. Oh, this guy's too far away. All right, go into raiding stance. You need the mana. And we'll see what this guy does. But then afterwards, we're just going to travel through lizard territories until we go for more elves. And yeah, we could fight some lizards, but frankly, here's the thing. I don't want to go all the way like this. Although, this would allow us to... But I really wanted to kill that maritime patrol. I guess if we end up not sending Pa down here, eventually these lizards will then move to attack these places. But we could send you down here through the Chaos Waste and eventually to Lustria, and then to go up here and make sure that these guys are gone for good. Something to think about, but anyway. Magok. You have to tear down Floating Village, buddy. Okay, that won't allow you to reach it, so just go to Floating Village the regular way. And the next turn, I guess we'll see if there are rats at Asgal. Specifically, the Rictus rats. I'll resolve. Close. Really? That looks Pyrrhic to me. Come on. Loot and raise. Lovely. And go into... I believe you don't need to build anything, so just go into raiding stance. Move towards Asgal. But raid this random territory, not our own territory. Actually, I wonder... Oh, too late now. I was wondering whether we'd heal more in our own territory. Would we be able to... No. I was hoping we could go all the way to Retinue Physician. But alas, we cannot. Oh well. Start going through Retinue Valet then. We'll eventually hit Retinue Physician for a little bit more healing. This is definitely not 50% healing. Yeah, maybe we should go after the healing tech after all. It will be another 10k. But if it's needed, it's needed. Mr. Pa, you're going to Kasabar next, and... Oh. I just realized something. I think at Kasabar... Okay, wait. You have the Nurglite building, and the... Slaaneshi building. Huh. We could tear them both down, replace them with the Cornate building for the one Cornate unit, although I guess we could just build that at the Malagor's Black Herdstone. So we need to make a delivery. Although obviously the single Cornate unit we get would be stronger at Kasabar. Yeah, the thing is, we want to make Tzeentch units here. And I guess that means we need to tear this down. Sad though it may be. Alright. How much money do we get back? 3.6k. It costs us 2 plus... It costs us 12k to build it, and we only get 3.6 back? Wow. That's a shame. But it is what it is. Do we then want to tear down the Slaaneshi building? Yeah, you know what? Screw the Cornate building. We'll tear down the Nurglite, build the Tzeentch, and onward and upward. Alrighty, Kazrak and Co. Still Cal on, eh? Alright, fine. Fair enough. Keep raiding. Keep doing what you're doing. Oh, do we have enough dread to build your 2 cockatrices now? Yeah, okay. So how much would it cost? 690? Yeah, no dice. Not enough dread. And, ooh, hello. King Alamus is outside of Dagrak's End. I imagine this means that in regular stance... Cost of post-battle loot, but whatever. I guess we could go gathering herds. You just force everybody into feral rage. Why not? Whatever. Can we draw everybody out? Oh, he's gonna run like a little... Okay, fine. Ah, but can he run far enough? He cannot. Alright, and obviously we don't want to ambush him. Alright, Alamus, pure victory, but look, it's a good army. It is. It's a lot of constructs, but, you know, we fought the Tomb Kings about 1 billion times in this particular campaign. Auto-resolve. It's not necessary. Alrighty, and we will heal up, because it's basically the only real option. Alright, and then Dagrak's End we will tear down, yes? Yes, and that'll be the ritual for this place. Yes, the next ritual we will want, I believe, or the next place we want at Karag. Alright, good. Enemy killed in battle, ritual of ruin available. Tear the place down like so. Oh, one of them remains. Well, not resolve. Free dread this way, though. That works for us. Loot and raise. Hey, another Trickster Shard. Considering a full-on range plus the Zenshin army is coming up, that'll work out nicely. Go back into raiding and start making your way towards the Glacial Garden. Wow, you are barely healing at all. You really need that Warg War. Alright, actually, can you summon Warg Wars? You cannot. Oh, right, I wanted to build this thing, but until we have the capacity for Jabber Slice, there isn't, you know, crazy amount of a point to it. Although, you're not getting anything out of raiding right now anyway, so this might be the decent time to build this up. Alright, fine. Go for Pits of Horror here. And I was actually going to build the Centaurs in this army, but it's no longer needed, so you can actually break down this building. Totem of Horns. Unit experience and magic item drop chance plus 50%. You know, it's a lot of magic item drop chance. Gotta go with it. Gotta go with it. And we'll level you and stuff afterwards. And good lord, yeah, you really need heals. How are those Warg Wars looking? Raven War Leader, Lazy Bones, and Swift Strider Warlord. You know what? Maybe we just give the Swift Strider Warlord to. I also just remembered that we need more Gorbles in that army. Yeah, you know what? Just for the heals to be faster. I'm getting sick of not being able to tear stuff down. 635 for the Warg War. Go for it. 724 now, and we still need more Warg Wars. Oh, Kazrak, you can upgrade your thing to tier 4, that's good. Yeah, go for the Swift Strider. Like so, you can move up northward. Morgur, you now have one. Your Magok the Endbringer. Raven. And the rest of the army is fine-ish. I would actually like you to trade some of the stuff here, but, you know, in a bit. Huh, wait, actually, you know what? Replace the one Harpy unit while you're not raiding. Because, why aren't you raiding? Was there something I needed to build in your army? We don't need the Pelt Totem. Huh, you know what? Raid then. Ah, there we go, free money. Maybe there was something I need to build, but I forgot what it was, so it doesn't matter now. Anyway, you're good. Kazrak is good. And turns be ending. Yes, yes. Skip. Low Bestial. Who has low Bestial Rage now? You are, well, still kind of meh. Oh, Kazrak. Alright, fine, do this. Quell the Rage, Quell the Rage. You want to Quell the Rage as well? Oh, you can't even because you're just slightly above it. Alright, fair enough. And Slaw, I think, is fine. I'm just going to assume he is, so we're going to skip. Do we want to spend 10k on anything? We have 31,000. Granted, there's a lot of stuff that we could build. I've been hankering for regen. I've been also hankering for Unbreakable on our Bestigors for defensive battles, even though I prefer the speed and the melee defense. Unbreakable, for most battles, doesn't do much for us, admittedly. But it's also not super critical right now. Alright, the bolstered defense for the Minotaurs would be really nice. Missile resistance for all the beasties would be good. Though, admittedly, the physical resistance and speed ain't too bad either. They're both good choices. Oh, right. You know what? We're using a lot of Hounds and Harpies. Man Cleavers, I think, is a good choice. This is a, if not a significant power-up, a decent power-up for lots of armies. And there's regen and stuff. Yeah, there was also this to consider. Wait, we have... Ooh, more speed for all units. Or missile resistance for all units, but this charge bonus plus 20% versus a constant casualty or punishment rate, and admittedly, it would be nice to have. Anyway, I think we can perform the ritual here, unless I'm mistaken. Yes. Pop that off. Good. And yeah, as soon as we pop this ritual, we'll be done. Do we want to wait for Dracon Spire? I guess we could wait one turn. It's not like anybody's going to take this place, at least not right now. I think we're okay. Alright, end turn. Let's complete that tech, and let's see what else we're looking at. Will Techlas... Oh, I wonder if he's gonna go and colonize something with that last little army he has remaining. Well, actually, it depends on... Huh. Because you need money to colonize. I wonder, do the AI cheats let it colonize stuff for free? And maybe the case that it does, I'm not entirely sure. And And it looks like nobody's attacking us this turn. Alright, so neither the rats nor the... Oh, we just picked up a plague, but whatever. Challenge completed. Good. And Nemesis Crown for you. Nemesis Crown. Malagor might enjoy one of those. Something to think about. Hey, you've taken back Crooked Fang Fort. Now, out of curiosity, are there rats at Asgal? As in the Rictus rats? There are not. Do nothing. Going to encamp, I guess? Oh, wait. I can't cross the water now. Alright, fine. Going to the... you know what? Go into your own settlement, then. We'll jump to Dragonhorn Mines next turn. Like so. And this is a time to build anything if we wanted to. Yeah, go for the breeding stock, why not? Don't care as much about the totem bones, I will admit. Yes, this thing we do want, though. Mound of Blades. Frankly, even the first level in every army would be really nice, so we'll just do that for now. Costly, though it may be. These, I assume, are full of... Wait, no. We tore these down. They just don't have the devastation thing on them. Should they not have the devastation thing? Should they not have this? Why are they... Is it only after the ritual is completed? Why are some of them colonizable and some of them not? I just prefer them, you know, not to do that. Anyway, hey, looks like this guy did not escape. Goodbye, sir. Free dread for Slaw. Not resolve. And we bid farewell to Techlas' faction. And really? Really? You're gonna waste our time like this? Okay. We got Assault Expert out of that, though, so why the heck not? Power Stone and kill it. Ambush again. Not resolve. Free dread. And perfect vigor and campaign movement range. Isn't that lovely? Scroll of shielding. Yes, enemy killed in battle. Faction destroyed. Order of Lore Masters. We are actually in range of the Lost Palace if we want to go after the lizards. I just don't care that much about this particular lizard faction. But I guess it would be something for Slot to do as he moves through this territory. It's just that we would then have to be prepared for inevitable attacks on all of these territories, potentially. But we're right beside the place. And it's gonna bother me to just leave it there, all lizardy and disgusting. Alright, fine. Let's go into Ruination stance, and let's tear the place down. You're currently at war with Molder and the Ecstatic Legions. We will ask Molder to join the war against the Ghosts of Pawash for money. Even if the Disciples of Kashut don't like us dealing with them. Varg wants a non-aggression pact. No. Anybody? Peace with the Ironclaw works, no thanks. And I don't care about any of this. Does that... Okay, that's alliance made, but asking to join war doesn't count as a deal made, so we're fine. Alright, go destroy the Lost Palace, please. And we'll raid our way over to the Elven colonies. Auto resolve. And a loot and raids. Other way to get money. Alright, and then go into... Actually, wait, do we need any construct... Ooh, yes, dread building. Alright, go into an hidden encampment for now. You can't raid anything anyway. At least not this turn. And then go for the... Where's the dread building? Not you. Oh, actually, we do want this. Yeah, build that. But also the dread building. Full of beast filth, we will... Technically, we don't need the totem anymore. This army is complete, so the only way in which we would need that is if a unit gets completely destroyed, which is possible, I will admit, but it's well, not super likely. At least I don't think. Either way, we do want the Mound of Blades, and frankly, I should have probably invested in some of those earlier for the items. We will want the Shaman's Flame Pit as well for the Shatterstone. Alrighty. And get some nice upgrades for Mr. Slaw. Malagor, you, I guess, are headed to Iron Rock now. Just gotta destroy everything surrounding this place. Man, I really wish we could see Rictus. Oh, wow. And it looks like these guys are... Actually, are you at war with... They're just colonizing ruins, eh? Do we go out here and kill Imric, knock him out of the sky, establish air superiority against the dragons? That would keep us away from the Empire longer, though. And either way, we do want Karag as fast as possible, because it's a very good buff faction-wide. I don't know. What I do know is that you go kill Ironrock. And there's the Empire, and some more orcs. Resolve. Yes. And as soon as we have some spare stuff, get loot and raise. We will want to build a few more monsters in this force. Go into raiding stance and start making your way to... Oh, you're going to be just out of range of Karag drawn? He might not be, but I guess what we could potentially do then is raise Barrack Dawa's back and then head to Karag. Are we at war with these guys? No. No. Man, Gunbat is probably going to be worth a fair bit. Oh. Huh, I wonder if this means that it's full of rats. Buildings 4, meaning, yeah, this is full of Rictus. Do we invest into this? There might be more buildings that we need to build in other armies. Pa, you need to wait, unfortunately, for several things. You here, though, will need to build a Zenshin building. And Pa, you're just going to, I guess, sit here and raid. In fact, sit in Orion's camp and raid outside it. You will split off into multiple armies as soon as we have the spare Dread. Although on the bright side, we're getting Dread a lot faster now. Callon Damonson's still up and running. Ah, man, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, you guys just sit here, keep raiding. I don't understand why you're not gaining Bestial Rage. Is it still just because of the -5? I guess it is a significant amount. Alright, well, I guess we'll wait then. We'll build your cockatrices soon, sir. Gazrak, you're in the same position. Torox, you are not in the same position. Go to Glacial Gardens again. Yeah, you're one army, not gonna be a threat. Just tear Glacial Gardens down, I think. As in, we can set up a thing at Cowork. Seems like the better location. I'll resolve. And you know what? This time, much as I'd like the money, we're gonna raise in advance to get the free gift of chaos. To get the bonus healing rating stance, and we'll be, if not quite at full HP, close enough to get a new Herdstone at Cowork and raise all of this. I see King Hatip is attempting to defend all of this as well. And I think we wanted the defeat trait for Hatip on at least one more lore, and I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Kazrak, unless I'm mistaken. It is a faction-wide buff. Yeah, it's Kazrak. Which, fair enough. Alright, well, you guys just sit there. I guess. Gromby. Man, I swear he came back in like 2 turns last time we killed him, and this time it's been several turns and he's not back. What is up with that? And, ooh, Tech, forgot about you. Go back to Tzeentch's Whisper, please. Once we get more money, we'll get a few more upgrade techs. Morgar and Co. is fine, Kazrak is fine. Akrek Goretooth, you are going this way. And I guess we gotta check the Bray Shaman of the right type. Darkwave Sorceress, damn it, alright. I might just start milling them, it's gonna be annoying. I guess we do have to perform some successful whatevers, so maybe we could use one as a tech thief briefly, not that we really need it, because our techs are basically complete. Maybe we can annoy some, you know, assassinate some heroes. Anyway, I think that's an end turn unless I'm mistaken, and if I am, well, it's too late to cry about it now because I've ended the turn. I was gonna build the 2 cockatrices, but actually, you know what? Maybe next turn we actually start up on the Zenshin army. Both to started being recruited, and to be able to split off the armies down where Nanra Pa is. Seems like that. Callon Damonson still. Please, Grumbrindle, please. Honestly, if he didn't have speed, which is such a good buff, I wouldn't bother, but, you know, faster moving Chaos Spawn earlier into combat, it's a good thing. Alright. At least we're raiding in the meantime. Confederation between the Wood Elves. King Isfaf is just hanging around here. Oh, I know what he's doing. He's gonna go towards this place because it's relatively undefended. Yeah. But is of little surprise. This, I imagine, is auto-resolvable, or at the very least probably isn't worth fighting. Can you now reach Karag in... Doesn't look like it. Even in regular stance? Yeah. Fair enough. Karag. Okay, you know what? Screw Karag then. I might have somebody else deal with it. Oh, wait, but that'll be part of the ritual of... Do we want to waste 2 turns? We're gonna hit Karag next turn. I like that more. You know what? Go raid Karag for the turn. And then grab it next turn. At least it'll give you a decent chunk of change. And hopefully Black Crag will be safe enough for now. This will give us... There we go. That's decent. Alright. Anyway, I think with that, we're probably in a good place to call this episode. There's gonna be a few turns of basically just... I guess. Gonna be a few turns of basically just moving around. Nothing critical to build here, right? I guess the dread building, or raiding building. Anyway, yeah, there's going to be a couple turns of moving around and building up our new army. I think, like I said, we're going to spend the dread on that, but we got to get started. On the Zenshin / ranged force, lots of Cygors and ranged units, a couple casters, lots of miscast base chance reductions, and the stuff should be a fun army to play around with. And hopefully next time we wipe out the Exiles of Nehek and start moving Morgard to fight the Heralds of Ariel. It looks like the opportunistic Drowned are now retaking some of the territories they held. We can't ally with them, I'm pretty sure, though, so there's no real purpose to keeping them around. There's a way to fight some Vampire Coast should we desire it, which we very well might. And everything's so distracting. It's hard to get to fighting the Empire because I want to fight everything. But anyway, more Malagor to come. So stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below as they will determine the length of the campaign. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.